make sure my sound is working here. Hold on. Where am I at? Just verifying sound here. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. Come on now, I done switched over. All right, there we go. Hold on, I'm gonna turn on my wireless here. All right, can you hear me better now, hopefully? Let me know, I'm waiting for this to catch up. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm waiting to hear it here. All right, that's better. Let me turn this one off. Haven't used my shotgun in a while. Hey folks, this is AJay the CEO. I am here at my church and we're doing a Q&A session. Mainly I'm doing this because I'm just staying here at church working on some little projects, and I didn't want to be driving all over the place since I need to get my daughter at the end of school today. So I'm just gonna hang out with y'all. Y'all can pop some questions to me and I would do my best to try and answer those. So I hope all of y'all are having a great day, Valentine's Day, all that fun stuff like that. So number one question, I actually already answered one already, was from PMC Entertainment Network. Hello. He was asking how fast my internet. Again, I'm at my church right now. We're using Comcast. We have 95 megabits down and 25 up. Originally, we had 15 down and 3 up, but I kind of worked with them to find out that we had been grandfathered into that, and I finally got a chance to call up to them and get all that taken care of. Smith Simeon 11 wants to know, can I use the MSI RX 570 OC graphics card for vMix multi-streaming? Technically, yes, you can. Actually, I just removed a 470 from my video editing system here. And yes, it can work, but vMix, as well as Livestream Studio, they actually, it's like they favor NVIDIA cards. They have it built in. Will it work? Yes, it will work. But again, and let me switch over here so y'all can see, I'm looking that up. Yes, it will work, but again, like I said, a lot of times they favor NVIDIA cards. I've used vMix. It's really not that big of a problem, but the main thing you need to know is what type of processor do you have back behind that. So Smith Simeon 11, what type of CPU do you have going on with that? And I'm gonna get Vincent Smith. I was going to say, I went to college with a guy named Vincent Smith. I hope if that's you, that's funny. If he is, he's a Marine just like me. He went down the officer route. After college, I went enlisted before college. Let's see. Let me switch back over here. We have Vincent Smith. Yes, sir. I'm having a problem going from the A10 Mini into my monitor using a DVI to HDMI cord. Any suggestions? I'm getting a no signal. All right, so Vincent, when you're using DVI, you have multiple type of cables that are DVI. You have DVI-D and DVI, and I might be getting the name wrong. One of them is a pure digital, the other one is an analog. So here is a HDMI to DVI cable that I use, and hopefully this can get in focus. As you can see, I can't. Let me look it up. The different types of cables that you have to have. Cable types. Let's cut this over here. And let me pull up the image. Now, Vincent, what type of monitor is it that you're connected to? Because, for example, if I bring this up here, see, there are a couple of different type of DVI cables, and some cables will show that you don't have a signal. So this is the type of cable that I have right here that I'm showing you right here. This works for me, but it depends on, does your monitor support a pure digital signal? Because that's what's coming out of the ATEM Mini. This cable will not convert to an analog signal for that monitor. So that may be the problem. So just check. You want to see, like I said, you want to have pins everywhere, and you have this horizontal one. Check that if you can. And it sounds like somebody's coming here into the church. So like I said, I'm here at church, so don't worry about some noise if you hear that. Pushable. Hey AJ, how can I get, let's switch back. How can I get transparent background for lower thirds using the ATEM Mini? Is it the Chroma, Luma, or downstream keyers? I want to use the hardware button on the ATEM if possible. All right, so let me do this one real quick, because I actually have done this before. So you can actually use any of those to work for your lower thirds. So what you could do, and do I have this set up here? I think so. I'm gonna try and switch this over here, because like I said, I'm on my normal church's computer, which really isn't configured for my ATEM Mini. But I'm gonna bring this up, and hopefully we can get you straight here. All right, so here is the ATEM software, and how you can do your lower thirds is like this. And I need to pause the chat so that I don't miss out on what people are saying. Now, there are multiple ways. If you want to do it, the easiest way to do your lower third is to just make a lower third and load it into your stills, and then bring that over, and then that will automatically do it. So let me see if I can throw something together real quick. I don't know if Canva will let me do it like that, but let's see if we can just do something real quick. I'm gonna do a desktop wallpaper, and Chroma is where you're gonna use to erase a color, but I'm gonna do it in black, because this is how we do it here at my church. We do this through, actually we started doing this through ProPresenter. I actually add this later, but I'm trying to get away from doing that. So I'm just gonna make a little junky thing right here. And especially with the ATEM, it works with black. So let's see if I can just add some text in here. I'll do it in white, and I'll just say AJay the CEO. And didn't mean to do it that way. Let's take that and let's bump this up. And I know this is a very, very, very bad job. This is just for an example. And you can do this in any photo editor. So let's download this one. I think I might be having an issue with this one, but we're gonna try. All right, so we downloaded this. Now, let's load this into our media player, like that. And then what we want to do is use the DSK for this. So our downstream keyer, we're going to use media player 1 and the media key. So if we do everything right, all right, so my transparency is not showing up the way it needs to. So there it goes. All right, so you got to play around with this. So if I come back over here so y'all can see, what I have is my fill source is the media player, which is what I have selected with my image. And then my key source is black. I want to completely get rid of black. And that's how you're able to see this. Now, again, it looks kind of ghostly. That's why we got to play with this so we can get the balance the way we really want it to. play with the gain back and forth so we can get the exact look that we want. And again, Canva is really not the best one to do this. You can actually make it completely transparent in GIMP or Photoshop. That will work better, but it will still work the exact same way. Chroma key, it will work that way as well too. It's honestly finicky. I mean, they've done it better because actually you can pick a color now, but it used to be a little bit more problematic than that. And I just changed my color, which I didn't mean to. So I'm gonna have to try the Chroma one later. Sorry about that. That's one way to do it, or you can just add them. Well, you said you want to do it in A10 Mini. And honestly, if you have y'all can't even see me. If you have Photoshop, it comes with a plugin that can actually push this directly there. So the idea is if we come back over here to Canva, and Canva won't, the free version of Canva won't let you do this. What you really want to do is everywhere where black is, you want that to be transparent, no color at all. And if you do it, it will come through perfectly fine. That's kind of the easiest way to do that. All right, so and wait a minute, y'all couldn't even see what I was doing. All of this, and if you use Photoshop or something like that, GIMP is free. Make an image, make it transparent, and you just do the bar, load that into the media player, and that will work. And let me try that. Let me download GIMP on this computer, and I'll see if we can do it that way as well. So let's move on to the next question, and we'll come back to this. Is it possible to do lower thirds with just one monitor in OBS? Yes, it is. Let me bring over OBS here so y'all can see. This is my OBS going on into infinity. What you want to do is you would need to make a scene. And this is what I do like in my sports stuff. I would come in here and make a group and just call it lower thirds. And then you can add all the images inside of this, and then you would just put your images there, and it would do the exact same thing. You just click off of whichever lower third that you want to show at the time, and that's it. That's how that would work. And you don't need a secondary monitor to do it. Now, if you're using OBS to be your switcher, then you need to have some type of secondary output going out into your projector or something like that. So that's what you might need to do, because inside of here, you can right click. Oh, y'all are not seeing it again. You need to right click in here, and then you will have your full screen projector that you can push out to screen number 1, number 2, something like that. So let me get out of that since it's going on into infinity there. And I'm catching up with the text here. I mean, the messages here. Is it okay? From home church streaming, would a Wi-Fi access point and adapter work good to stream at a better quality with no lag? Vic Tomeo, it's not about the Wi-Fi, it's just about your upload speed. As long as you can get something that's consistent, you can do an access point. It doesn't really matter. Like when I do sporting events, like for Formation Sports, I use my phone most of the time when I'm in locations. Hold on. They just turned the vacuum on, so I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Hopefully it's not picking up that well. Please let me know if you're having any issues with the sound. Like I said, they are here cleaning up the sanctuary, so they didn't know I was going to be here. All right, so y'all can still hear me good, so that's cool. Yeah, so honestly, the Wi-Fi access point will work with an adapter as long as you have the upload speed and it stays consistent and you're good. And Vincent, you're talking about Acer. Let me look that up. I think that's going back to the cable that y'all are talking about. Let's see, we're looking up the monitor here that Vincent was asking about to see if it's capable. AJay. Honestly, those look like this looks like the monitor that I used to use. And I need to see if I can get a closer image of the connector there. Now, Vincent, it looks like if it's HDMI, I mean, do you not have HDMI on the back of your monitor? I'm just wondering why you're going with, oh, duh, it says right here, DV out of AJay. Well, I don't know what type of cable you got. This is an Amazon Basics that I have, and I will try and link to the exact one that I got, and maybe that could help you out. Let me pull that up, and I will send that here. And again, I didn't say this. Thank y'all all for joining me. Hopefully I can help you as best as I can here today. Now this is, hold on. All right, so this is the one that I am using here at my church, and me personally, this one works fine for me. My monitor was kind of problematic, and this is the cable that worked for me. So again, it's just the Amazon Basics DVI to HDMI cable. That's all, and I will include that here and include a link as well. All right, so let's go to the next one here. I'm using a Ryzen 5 3500, excellent, with mid-range graphics card is best for, which mid-range graphics card is best for vMix, AMD or NVIDIA specific model? Honestly, a GeForce 1650 is perfectly fine. Honestly, I mean, I'm actually in the system I'm on right now is a GTX 1050. So you don't need any super card. This is Smith Simeon 11. Graphics, I mean, the CPU is more than powerful enough to handle that. A mid-range card, stick with NVIDIA if you're gonna use vMix. And if you can get, let me see if I can find one. Let's get over here, and we wanna look for, I just wanna see if we can get a GTX that's still available that's reasonably priced. No. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump to a 1650. You don't need a super, because I've really just put in a 1660 in our system over here. See, I would say the 1050, but they're charging more for this. So honestly, this MSI or any of the 1650s are the lowest that I would go to add to your vMix streaming system. So let's go ahead and copy that one for you. We can do that there. Let's see what else. For the lower thirds, I wanted it from a Lyric software, and also wanted it to resize to the bottom left corner. Now, you can do that. It all depends on what system. And this is perishable, I think that's saying. You can use that. I use ProPresenter. You can use Worship Extreme. That's all dependent on the template of what you set up for the program that you're using. And you said you tried the chroma key with the graphic software with a black background, but it won't remove the background, and it looks like only chroma key was mapped to the hardware button on the ATEM Mini. Yeah, see the problem with that, I'm trying to think what would be the best way to do that. Let me get back to you on that one. Let me work on that one, because honestly, trying to get it, I mean, the ATEM Mini is great, but when you're using the device itself here, it's hard coded into, no matter what you change in the software, it's gonna revert back. So there should be a way to switch that. I need to get back to you on that one. Let's see. Okay. Chuck Taylor, I'm glad that works for you. All right, I think I've caught up to the questions y'all got. Let me know. I'm letting y'all know some of the stuff that I'm doing right now. So, like I said, I'm here at my church, and what I'm trying to do is convince my church to go into switch our phones over to voice over IP. So that's what I'm playing with right now. No, I don't want to show you that. That has passwords and stuff. Don't want to do that. Let's see. I'm trying to set up a phone here using a little system that I used to. All right, so if you're getting a hum, I'm thinking from, and I really need to bring the chat box up so we can all see that. Awesome, Vincent. Let me know if that works. If not, we can test it out again. It's only $7, so it's not really expensive. With perishable, you're talking about audio from the mixer. I had somebody else that have it. I have a PreSonus that I used when I was doing choir rehearsal. And you're saying you're getting a hum. Now, in the software, how do you have it set up for your sound? Did you switch back and forth? Did you try line in and microphone on your audio? Did you try any one of those from here? From mic to line in, does that give it? What type of cable do you have connected to it? Most of the time, a hum in any way, shape, or form is either electrostatic noise, disturbance, magnetics, something like that, or it's grounded, cable is bad or something like that. That's normally what I've seen. A connection is loose. Like we have a bass player that it would give a hum anytime he was connected because the cable that he had was old, and it just caused a hum throughout the entire system. That's the only thing I can think of. A lot of the cables that I'm using on my stuff are insulated, shielded, and all this other stuff, so I don't really get a lot of hum on mine. I mean, it's possible. Just try it. I mean, that's kind of like with all the stuff that I do here at my church, and figuring out a lot of this, it's just been trial and error. There really hasn't been anything to give a definitive answer on how to get stuff done, and that's kind of where my channel came from. Of this is what I figured out at my church. Some of it works, some of it doesn't, but this is what's been working for us, and I just wanted to kind of share that with you. Okay, let me know when you get to your church if that works, and that's cool. Also, let me know if y'all like stuff like this. I mean, I do a post-production where I do video editing stuff at the end of church on Sundays, but if y'all like doing stuff like this, I might set up something more regularly to have a AJ Answers Q&A session and stuff like that. Honestly, I would probably pick a cable to go. Now, what's the output? What's the initial jack? Well, let me look up the one that you're talking about. Hey, Nassim, hold on one second and I will get to your question here. Let me look up this model here so I can see what type of connection is coming out of here. Oh Lord, that's the big jump. Okay, I will plan on trying to do something like this on Friday. Well, let me not say a day. I will put a poll out there and let y'all vote to see what day works best for y'all. And we will go with that. Okay. Honestly, he says, so female XLR is the initial jack we're using. Not sure if it's the right one. Trying to get a picture of the back of it. Okay. And y'all can't see while I'm doing all this. All right, so honestly, I'm just wondering, have you tried to do the RCA right and left out into just a traditional red and white into a stereo cable? Try that. If not, I mean, you can always do an output from these XLRs. Just trying to think, because you can take one of these mixes that would go out and that would convert over. So let's look at, while I'm doing this in the scene, what I've worked with is the WeStar splitter with a whole bunch of, matrix with a bunch of HDMI splitters. Now you could go completely Ori. I have not used the Ori brand for the multi-matrix, but I have used them. All right, cool. Let me know how that works. Cause I mean, honestly, I think that will work because that's what I'm doing on my chapel. Yeah, I could go the XLR route, but I mean, most people aren't using that tape out. So that tape out will give you the same thing that you need there. All right, so Nassim, let me show you what I actually came up with, my suggestion for this. This is on kit.co/AJaytheCEO. I'll show you what I did. So for my multi-view, I didn't add the WeStar in here. No. Sorry, this was a different one that somebody asked me to do. Where's it at? That was the more expensive one. Forget it. This is what I ended up using. Come on, where's it at? Hold on, let me go to my history first so I can pull it up. I can show you exactly what I got. All right, this is what I had got. Oh, it's currently not available. This is what I use for my multi-view. But again, like I said, the Ori is a great brand. I personally have not used them, this model, but I use Ori stuff all over my churches and everywhere else, and it does the exact same thing. I would get something like this, then you might as well stick with Ori, get some 1x2 HDMI splitters, and boom, there you go. There's your multi-view output for your system. Sure thing. I will send you I'll put a link here. Nassim, there you go. And let me show this. You're David Judkins. I'm using a Behringer XR18 and have an audio hooked up via USB to my computer and then use it as recording input for my videos. Okay. I just changed the audio output from main going out on USB 1 and 2. Okay. Oh, excuse me. However, last Sunday during worship, I had a delay for the worship music, but not for the sermon. Any thoughts? Let me think about that. Using the Behringer X18, XR18, excuse me. Get a picture. I've used this. I actually installed this at a church, Liberty Baptist. This is the sound that they went through. So you have USB. Well, what type of computer do you have going that this is plugged into? Okay, nah, understood, David. No problem. What type of computer is being fed into this system? I mean, the audio is being fed into. What system is that? Last Sunday during worship, I had a delay for worship music, but not the sermon. The only thing I can think of is processing. But again, that doesn't make sense. Like, okay, where is your sound being played from? Okay. So since you have it plugged in, is the tracks that you're playing coming from the computer as well? Where's the source of the tracks coming from? I mean, the computer shouldn't be a problem. The only thing I can think of is just need to see where the sounds are being. The main left and right are output to USB track 1 and 2. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is the USB. Honestly, that one is kind of hard for me to wrap my mind around. Yeah, I think that might be it then, based off of what you're saying. Maybe it was just too much for it to handle. I don't know. Let's see what type of connection that is. Like, what type of USB is that? Is that 2.0? Is it 3.0? Let's see what type of. See, it doesn't give me specifics. Let's see. It's two multi-track essentially. I just changed the input. Yeah, see if you switch it to well, I need to see actually, is this even I just want to see what the specs are of the actual XR18. It says type B. That's not what I need. Where is 9? Yeah, it doesn't tell me. while I'm doing this, Simeon 11, the ATEM Mini does do a converting. If you set the ATEM to, let me jump over here real quick, to the output here. Wait a minute, wrong one. I mean, you should be able to set it to that, and it will change everything on your out recording if you're using the ATEM Mini. Now, if that's not what you need and you need something else, it's going to be a little more expensive, and I actually have that over here. Give me 1 second. Let me actually unplug this so I can show you what it is. All right, so that is the Blackmagic Mini Converter Up-Down Cross HD. And this will convert it to any type of resolution like that if you need it. But you would need one of these on each individual connection if you needed something like this. So like right now, we still have the Decklink Mini, the regular one. So the highest we can go is 1080p, I think 2324, something like that. But our system is the old ATEM, which is only doing 1080i at $59.94. So we push that into this. This scales it to 1080p to what the Decklink can use, and that's what we record off of. So that would be what I would suggest for what you're asking about. But I think this would be kind of costly if you needed to put this on each one of the cameras. But this is way cheaper than the other standard ones that they talk about. These are around like $150 each. And I think the other ones, I forgot who they call the name of the company. It starts with a D. Datronics, something like that. They're like $395 for each one. Let me see. All right, so let me go back to David's question. We're looking for what is it, USB 2 or 3? Yeah, it's USB 2.0. Maybe it's just not fast enough. That's why I think it is. So you can't see it, but anyway, that's where it is right here. USB 2.0. Maybe that's the possible cause of it. Again, I'm not 100% sure since I don't have it physically here to test, but that's what I think it might be. Let's see, let's go to our next one here. Will this work for tape out RCA? It says, which is the opposite. Yeah, they're both the same. Those cables are exactly the same. I got one of the, let me see. I'm trying to show you here as best as I can. This is, yeah, my camera can't reach it. Hold on, let me switch over to this one. So this is the same cable. I don't know if you can see it. It's the red and white, the same one. That's what we're coming out of our Roland M400. This is the audio that's coming from the system. They work backwards, so that same cable will work for you. And let me plug this back up here. Let me get to the next question I just saw. And I need to remember to put this converter back because I'm not going to be here this Sunday. I'm actually playing at another church. So I'm here also setting up everything for people at church. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad it's helping you. Let me know if you have any other questions about that. All right, Sherwin, could you please check the latency with the following setup? Camera to HDMI to SDI, SDI to HDMI to program out. HDMI to SDI, SDI to HDMI, HDMI monitor. I mean, you're talking about 2 to 3 frames, because I actually do that same setup and it's not noticeable. It really isn't. Now, I mean, if you're sitting there staring at it like this, then yes, it's not. For us who are in this field, we will notice it a lot more. It's not going to be as bad as you clapping and it's out of sync. I mean, you're going to be good, because even with all the stuff I have here, there's latency here at my church. I notice it because I'm seeing it all the time, but no one in the church really notices it. Like for example, when I first installed this, I had this coming in, converting it, going out to projectors, which everybody sees in the church. Then I also had it going to our live stream, and I had it going to our recording. That was noticeable because it was delayed, and people actually noticed it, because when this is going out, the audio has also been delayed for the people who are watching the live stream. Now here in the church, because the sound is coming through our sound system, it's not in sync with the video, and that's when they noticed it. So the output out of this one more device, I took out, and it's going to the screen, and no one has noticed it. So, excuse me again. Every device that you add adds some latency, but based on what you have, you're talking about 2 to 3 frames, not noticeable, especially depending on what your frame rate is. It's not going to be noticeable based off of what you're talking about. Hey, I am glad it helps. So Sherwin, hopefully that answers your question. I got about 5 more minutes with you folks, and then I'm gonna shut this off, and then I'm gonna go back to try and figuring out how to get my demo voice over IP phone stuff set up. See, I got, let me unplug it because I didn't make the cable long enough. I had the Sangoma phone here that I'm playing around with. I actually set this up at my house before using free PBX, but I'm trying to use something different right now. The whole idea is we have security ministry and everything like that, to where I can get smartphone apps that can link into the PBX, so when they're here, they can talk that way, and just the whole thing. That's what I'm playing around with right now. So let me actually do this, if it'll let me. I want to send out a poll here. Well, it won't let me do it, but I'm gonna check out the channel, please. I'm gonna put a poll out there on the community tab, and let me know what days y'all want me to do this. I'll try and do this more frequently, since it helped y'all out a lot, and I want to make sure we get y'all squared away as best as we can. Like I said, I am not a super professional. I'm just here in the grind, just like anybody else. I've fortunately been able to help out a lot of churches, and I want to share what I know to help cut down the amount of time it takes for y'all to get y'all stuff straight at your church, so we can spread the message beyond the 4 walls and reach so many other people, as well as any tech questions that you got. I mean, I love doing tech stuff, databases, SQL, all that other stuff like that, and just using that stuff predominantly in the church to help in a technology fashion. So shameless plug, don't forget my book that I came out with last year, for Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. It helps change the mindset of the importance of technology in the church. Also have a live streaming course, 101, that goes through everything that I would do if I was installing at your church, in a very simple video set that you can watch, that I'm adding to, additionally based on what the students have asked me to add. You can check that out. The link is in the description, modernmediaministry.com. And if you're in the area, I'm actually going to be speaking on technology in the church at University of Lynchburg. What day is that? I think it's next month. Yeah, I'm speaking at a conference for the Sunday School Association at the University of Lynchburg at 6:30 at the University of Lynchburg, where we're going to be talking to a bunch of pastors and a bunch of other people about the importance of technology, reaching the younger generation, and just using technology to enhance what we're doing in the church. So I'm going to see if I can record that and then put it up after the fact. I really don't know how the layout is, but I will let y'all know. Thank y'all all for joining me. Check out the community tab where I'm going to put a poll so we can find out what day you want me to do this on a weekly basis. Thank y'all again for joining me. This is AJ. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like button, consider subscribing if you haven't, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. This is AJ. We will see you on the next video or the next live stream later.